Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Thank you very much for coming on to Inter Worldwide. It is an absolute privilege to be able to be here and connect with you to talk all about our massive Serie A fixture against Torino, where everything now is a must win. Everything now is a must win, like our friend Benjamin in the chat says, unless Milan drop points each game henceforth is a must win. Why do we say that? Well, because there's only 10 games left in Serie A, and it is going to be very, very difficult for us to, come away with maximum points in all of the games. The last time I checked in with you lot, we were just about to play Liverpool. Did I expect to go through? No, and I'm really sorry, but I was just one of those weeks at work where I just could not get home in time to be bothered to talk about the game. It was just very deflating work-wise, and I thought might as well just check in before Torino. And here we are with my boy Dave from into Haiti. It's good to be here and also representing the Brothers of the World podcast. It's great to see you, my bro. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to be on with you. Let's get it, man. Thank you for having me again.
Are you bringing that Lukaku back propaganda nice and raw onto the show today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on with the latest rumors that we're monitoring the situation at Chelsea. I got to put the little hint in the background, because he would definitely be welcome, in my opinion. We miss a guy with his attributes.
If all this stuff we're hearing about Chelsea, bro, is real, it might not be that hard to get not only him but another Chelsea player or two as well, because that looks like a real sticky situation, bro. What do you make of the whole Chelsea Roman Abramovich situation before we dive into our Inter stuff today?
Well, honestly, man, from the things that I've been reading, it seems a little harsh, to be honest with you, because it seems like I've been reading stuff like they can't even pay enough stewards to keep the whole stadium open. They're having issues with the fuel and the bus, stuff like that. So it seems like they put the sanctions put the club in a very, very tough situation. And as a football fan, you don't want to see that. But again, they took advantage of us in our situation and bought players like Lukaku and Hakimi. PSG took advantage and bought Hakimi. So if now they're in a situation and that we could take advantage and return the favor, then that's what it is, karma.
Yeah, there's no such thing as real friendships in this sport, man. Not for as long as I've followed it anyway. So we do need to be opportunistic. Let's go to a few comments before we start looking ahead to the game. But before we go to the comments, man, what was your reaction to our 1-0 victory over Liverpool? A great game from the boys. And, if we can go to Turin this weekend and put this Torino team away, which they aren't in the best form, but they're still a very good side. If we can put them away comfortably, that 1-0 result at Liverpool, I'll see that more as a catalytic moment.
No, I agree. Honestly, that result, it was absolutely what I would have wanted. Well, beside us going through, of course, we could talk about, okay, we want to focus on the league all we want, but had it looked like we had a genuine chance of going through, of course, I'm sure all Inter fans would want us to go through and keep the dream alive. But things being what they are, I think we had the best possible result, which is a 1-0. We were able to beat them at Anfield for over a year. They haven't lost there. And Lautaro, which was a guy that was struggling, he managed to get a goal, his only goal of the Champions League. So all that stuff, it works wonders for your confidence. And I don't know, man, for some reason, it makes me feel pretty confident about Torino. Not only are they not in good form, like you mentioned, but with that situation, with our guys being in good form and coming off a big win like that, I'm sure that the confidence is at its highest, and I think we'll do well against Torino.
Mattia coming in as well. Always good to see you. I bet you're going to bring some nice pessimistic propaganda to back mine up here, man. How you feeling, man, after the 1-0 win over Liverpool? You excited for Torino this week? I'm dreading it, bro. It's a 6:45 a.m. Monday morning kickoff for me. So that's make or break everything wise for me, bro. It's harsh.
Yeah. First of all, nice to meet you, Dave. I watch your podcast all the time. You know me from the chat probably. So good
Absolutely.
to officially meet you. And yeah, hello to everyone in the chat. Well, I feel better than I thought I would feel after Liverpool game. I predicted that we would lose. You know me. I'm a pessimist. But yeah, it's a second win in a row, which is very important. Lautaro scoring again, very important. So yeah, I'm feeling okay, but I am worried about Brozo and De Vrij. I am worried about them. If they can't play, I think De Vrij is for sure not playing, But Brozo, he is very, as we know, very, very important for us. If he doesn't play in Turin, it's gonna be difficult. And yeah, then I'm scared a little bit. But we'll see.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who's joined in the chat. Matt Pickham, I see you as well. Trevor, thanks, Ben. Thanks, Indro. Eduardo, I also see who else, and Mighty Mal as well. It's very good to see all of you. I do think that we'll win this game, building on from the momentum we are on from the Liverpool game. We just need to be more consistent, since Milan will guarantee drop points from their fixtures. That's inevitable, but whether or not we can capitalize on that is another story. Like the longer the season goes on, the more banana skins are going to present themselves, man. And looking at the fixture list, nobody in that top four has it easy. It's all just as difficult as one another. Would you agree, Dave?
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. I say that if we want to say top four, maybe Juve, they have it a little easier. I think we're the toughest team that they're facing. Other than that, it's more like mid-table to lower table teams. But Milan have it hard. They have a very hard end of the season. Napoli, they have it tough as well. Napoli have it worse, in my opinion. But yeah, you said it. All four teams, we have potential banana skins, us included. We have 3 games: Torino, Fiorentina, and Juve, that we could potentially drop points on. So those are games that we're gonna have to be focused and treat them like finals.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's going to be tough all around. Mo, thanks for joining what is now a very nice crew for today to preview a big match against Ivan Juric's Torino. How are you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling okay. I'm optimistic after that Liverpool game. I'm feeling optimistic that Brozovic is not injured. I'm feeling optimistic that Lautaro scored a goal. I'm actually feeling optimistic that D'Ambrosio will get his chance from the first minute, because I think against these teams we need someone like D'Ambrosio, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
man, I would have to agree, bro. Skriniar is definitely expected to start this one as well. Wait 1 sec. Just make sure I've got the right lineup. I think
yeah, it's Skriniar, Bastoni, D'Ambrosio, Brozovic,
Yep.
Hakan, Barella, Dzeko, Lautaro up top with Dumfries and Perisic on the left. It's kind of strange that we are not going to see Gozens from the start. I don't know why, though. If I'm not sure why Perisic would want to play another 90 minutes in like another week, to be honest, 8 days, and that's another game for him to start. I like Perisic. I just want to see more rest for this guy, because the season, it will come back. Thank you, Matt.
Definitely. Mattia, I'm going to you next, man. Going into this game, I'm going to get the probable lineup up on the screen now, and then we'll move over to Torino's side as well to discuss where the threats from Ivan Juric's side are going to play, which once again, I highlight, they're not in the best form at the moment. They're probably in their worst form of the season, which means they'll be just as hungry, if not hungrier, to make a statement against a team like us in their home ground, just to make sure they don't start flirting with a position on the table that they wouldn't want to be in, considering how they started the season. But this is how we're expected to line up, Mattia, sir. Pretty much as Mo said: Handanovic, D'Ambrosio, Skriniar, Bastoni, Brozo, Barella, Hakan, Dumfries and Perisic as the wing backs, and Lautaro and Dzeko up front. Mattia, what are you saying about it, man? Do you like it, and do you think it can get the job done?
I'm happy to see Brozovic there, so I guess everything is fine. That takes out half of my worries, or maybe even 80% of my worries for the match.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am very glad to see him there. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. We need A-listers. We need the tough squad, and like we said, every next game is the most important game now. So we are at the end game of the season, and every game has to be treated like it is a championship game. It is the final game. So yeah, we need all of these guys there, and it's quite important that we do our best and get 3 points, especially since Turin is not in a good form, like we said. And the last 5 matches we actually won against them, so that's a good streak to be on right now, and hopefully it will continue.
Yeah, I would agree, man. I like this comment here from Robbie. Welcome back to the chat, bro. Vidal is going to end the season strong, knowing he's leaving in the summer. Unreal performance against Liverpool. I think if even
Yes.
our depth players, our Vidals, our Sanchez, as long as everybody knows that every game from here on in is a life and death situation, because we knew as soon as we bowed out from the Champions League, as you said, Mattia, this is it, bro. This is the final stretch. These next 10 games coming up, you treat every game like it's a final. You put your best and most informed players forward every single game, no matter who the opponent is. I don't think there's a such thing as resting for the next game when you get to this point in the season, because every game is as important as the next. And we will fatigue, but so will everybody else, Dave. So looking at this game against Torino, I want to start with you and talk. You can talk about your thoughts on the lineup as well. How do you think the game's going to go, man? Who do you think is going to stand out from us? Who are you expecting a big performance from, bro?
I'm expecting it from Nicolo Barella, not only because of his form. Well, I don't want to say his form. If you want to talk about his last performance against Salernitana, he was the best player on the pitch. He was involved in all 5 of 4 goals. And he was not able to be involved in that big win in midweek, partly because of his fault. So I'm sure that he's going to use that for fuel to pretty much drive him for the rest of the season. A chip on his shoulder that he was not able to be there for his teammates. This is a guy that we're talking about as a potential captain of the team. So that's something that he has to show the squad that, hey, okay, you know what? I'll be a leader going forward, and I'll be a guy that's going to help you guys secure the title. As for the lineup, that's exactly what I expected as well. Our strongest possible 11, De Vrij being hurt, so we replace it with D'Ambrosio. I'm completely fine with Skriniar being in the middle and having D'Ambrosio on the right, because we know he's going to be able to go on his adventures, go on his long runs, and overlap with Dumfries. So that's another aspect that we're going to have in our attack. As for Gosens, I am expecting him to be starting soon. Probably, I'll say next match against Fiorentina. Maybe Inzaghi is being cautious with him still. He was out for about 4 months. The first time he came back for Atalanta, he got re-injured the same match and had to go sit down again. So I guess we're probably pampering him a bit and trying to ease him in as far as the minutes goes, especially at a position like that requires you to run up and down the pitch all game. So that's probably what it is. But I expect us to take the game by the scruff of the neck from the beginning. I expect us to dominate possession, and I think we could win 2-0. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but let's say we're the superior squad. We're in the better form compared to them, so all that is going to come into action, and I think that we should be able to get out with 2-0.
Nice one, man. Mo, who do you think is going to have a big game for Inter? How do you think that we can win this one? And looking at Torino's lineup as well, who scares you from this particular side, man?
To be honest, Belotti on his day is not bad. He can cause trouble, especially with crossing and stuff like this. And I know that they don't have a superstar on this team. Like there's no outstanding player that will not like Sassuolo when they have like this. They had the Boga as an outstanding player that will always hurt you. It's a collective team. We know Juric how he plays, right? We know it's the collective football. However, this team has not won in 6 games. It's if you go on hard, this is our game from the beginning. I know we play away in Torino, but you start the game strong, you control this game, you score 1, and we have the capability and we have the abilities to create chances. We score 1, this game is done. I know Bremer is going to play the game of his life, but for me, I think Dzeko, after getting the rest, should be the one who get us the win, to be honest, because we seen this guy when he was rested in the beginning of the season, he was getting us points, but he can't run anymore because we ran him to the ground. So I'm expecting Dzeko on Sunday to actually make things happen for Inter. I know that people want to expect Barella, but to be honest, Barella is always Barella. I'm expecting Barella to be the best player on the field every single game, no matter what. And he had a dip in form, that's fine, but I hope he comes back. But Dzeko is the one that I'm expecting more from him, and I think this is the game that I want to see Dzeko scoring one or creating a couple.
Yeah, what do you think the game's going to be, Mo? What's your prediction?
I don't know what to predict, to be honest, with this Pazza Inter lately. You lose against Liverpool 2-0 at home, and then you go to Anfield and win 1-0. It's kind of very tough, But I'm expecting a 2-1 Inter, another win.
Yeah, nice. Mattia, over to you, man. Your prediction. How do you think Torino's going to play? Ivan Juric's team started the season well. They were up as high as 9th position at one point, but just some really stagnant results and a lack of creativity in getting the ball to Belotti, who's looking very, very frustrated. I think he should really capitalize and move in the offseason, I think, before it becomes a little bit too late and Torino can't cash in on him properly. But for me, I think that the game can be won with our fullbacks as well overlapping. I see a lot of space for Denzel Dumfries up against Rodriguez, who is just absolutely horrendous in my opinion. What are you thinking, Mattia?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I agree with everything Mo said. It is our game to win for sure. I mean, we should never underestimate any opponent. So Juric is a great coach. We all know that, but they are in a bad form, and I'm sure Bremer is gonna be like.
Van Dijk.
He's gonna,
Like, he's gonna be like,
yeah,
Van Dijk, you know?
yeah, for sure. I just know it. But he's just one defender, so we have a room to breathe there. And Lautaro, he scored in the last 2 games. I hope it will continue. And Dzeko for sure. I'm so glad Dzeko rested against Liverpool. I'm so glad for that, because before Liverpool game, I thought Inzaghi wanted to kill him. I really thought that. Like, yeah, it was no.
Yeah, I
for
feel
him.
exactly the same. I felt like, what is wrong with you? But just rest the guy, like rest this guy and give him a. He's 35 years old. He's not 20.
Yeah. And he was playing in literally every single game for 90 minutes, and yeah, it was really, really tough to see. You could see he was fatigued really, really badly in the last couple of games. So I hope this rest will, boost his energy. And we need that, I think, at the front. So I think we're in a good space right now at the front, which wasn't the case in February, in Black February. So yeah, hopefully, I don't think we will score 5 again, but 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, something like that. I think it's realistic.
I'll take anything that's 3 points, man. I see us maybe slipping up once in the game. I'm going to go with 2-1. And I'd really, really I just want our strikers to keep scoring. I don't care if the next 3 or 4 games it's just Lautaro and Dzeko that need to score the goals. I just want our strikers to keep scoring. So let's go over to some of the comments, and then I just want to talk about a couple of Inter headlines as well. While I've got 3 really, really good people here. A big shout out to Alberto from the All Juve cast. Oh God, I hate them so much, man. They're the most filthy things on the world. But nah, I love Alberto, man. He does some amazing. I'll amazing work. He does some amazing work at the All Juve card. So make sure you go and check him out. What was that?
If Juve wins the Scudetto this year, I will never watch Serie A again. Okay, I said this live now, so there you go.
You've been saying it in chats for the last 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
bro.
but he can see it now. Yeah,
but yeah, we collect receipts in this channel. We'll come for our receipts at the end of the season. Scudetto, and we all fuck this up. All of us, Milan, Napoli, and us, will fuck this up
for sure.
Yeah, if all 4 of us, yeah.
Just curiously, Dave, who did you have as your top 4 to start the season? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I had Inter winning. I had Juve second. I had Milan third, and I believe the 4th one was when I messed up. I had Atalanta. I don't know. I don't think I had Napoli. So everything is kind of crumbled up, But hey, it's looking crazy. It's exciting for a neutral, I guess, but as us Inter fans, I know we're stressing these days. So hopefully these guys can find a way to get us some distance in this title race, man.
Yeah. Alberto also says, do you guys think out of the top 4, your schedule to finish is the most favorable? What games worry you? I would say that our schedule is the most favorable for one reason and one reason only. We play at the time that we play certain sides, their season should already be decided. I don't necessarily see us playing, for example, an Udinese at a point in the season where they're fighting for relegation. They'll be safe by then. Likewise with Sampdoria, I think that by the time we play Cagliari, do we play Cagliari again? I think we do. If we do, I think that they will have started accumulating enough points under Mazzarri to secure themselves. But hey, man, like you honestly never know. You never really know at all. Any team can take points off anybody at this point of the season, and it's going to be a bloodbath, to be honest. So every game worries me as much as the next one, bro. There is not a single game that stands out for me. Even going up to Turin to face you guys again, I know it's the derby, and I know there's more hatred there than any other fixture. But to me, statistically, that's just another game on the timeline with 3 points up for grabs, bro. It's going to be a real grind from here till the end of the season. I'll go around the table for this question as well. Mattia, out of the top 4 schedule, is there anything off the top of your head that absolutely shit scares you?
Since Juve cast asked, I don't want to say Juve game, but yeah, that is obviously the most difficult one for us until the end of the year, for sure. And it's away, so that is the only one that I think, it's gonna be really, really difficult for us. Others, like you said, I'm a pessimist, so I'm never sure in any game, but definitely Juve game I think is going to be the most difficult one.
Yeah, thank you very much to the 28 people that are with us live on Inter Worldwide right now. That's a fantastic little community for me on a Saturday afternoon here in Sydney. Mo, your response to this question, do any fixtures stand out to you as tough? I know the Juve one is the obvious choice, but any potential banana skins on the way for you? For me personally, I'm not really keen. I'm not keen on facing Fiorentina next week at home, to be honest.
You know what? I'm not worried about Fiorentina as much. I'm really worried about the Roma game. I know that we smoked in the first game, right? But I'm really worried about the way they play, and we're gonna play Milan 4 days before that. This is gonna be tough on us, and we know Inzaghi doesn't rotate, and that Milan game having it 0-0 means that we have to win, and it's a trophy on the line, and he would want the cup this year. So I'm thinking he's gonna play his starting 11, the strongest starting 11. So I'm really worried about the Roma because I've been watching Roma lately, and they are really they are sneaking. They are improving dramatically.
They are improving,
in terms of the way they play. So, and don't underestimate Mourinho. Mourinho sometimes comes up with the weirdest things in football, and then they just work, and that's the thing. And to be honest, the Juve game is the obvious choice. Yes, it's a derby, but I'm not worried about it. That doesn't mean that we're gonna win the game. It means that no matter what the result, it's a game that is not only for us, it's for all the top teams. It's a game that you can't count as a win, but other games you can. And this is why I'm worried about the Roma game more than the Juve game. If we drop 2 points Juve game, it's okay. It's fine. If we even drop the 3 points, but it's not going to be okay if you drop points to Roma at home. It's not going to be okay if you drop points to Fiorentina at home. These are the games that you expect to get 3 points if you want to win the Scudetto. Losing to Juventus is not going to lose you the Scudetto. That's my point.
It's at a point in the season where it could lose you the Scudetto. But I guess you're right in a sense. It's still in our control. So you can't go back. Like, you can't really go back and say that losing to Milan was the point where we lost the Scudetto now, because for as long as it's still in our hands, we can drop it. And when we drop it, then we'll really know what it's like to lose the Scudetto.
In my opinion, one thing I want to ask Dave one thing is like, Dave, do you think winning against Juventus will win us the Scudetto, or it is winning against, because we have 11 games left.
Yeah.
Most of them are winnable. On paper, we should win 10 on paper, and that will guarantee us the Scudetto. Do you think that Juve game is the Scudetto decider, or you don't think so?
I don't think so. Absolutely not. I mean, if they told me right now, okay, I'll guarantee you win all 10 of those other games, if you agree to lose the Juve game, I'll sign right now. Because Juve, that's a derby. We always know, like you mentioned, that's not a game that we could look at on paper and decide that, you know what, that's 3 points, regardless of the both teams' forms. So it's okay. It's a game that no matter what happens, if they get a help from the referee again, something funny happens, that's a game that us Inter fans, we always in the back of our head, we know, like, you know what, something might happen there. So
penalty in the last minute.
Just to answer your question, absolutely. I feel like we should focus on winning the other games. Of course, we're gonna go in Turin expecting to win or trying to win, but it's not the end of the world. I don't think it's a title defender at all. I mean, decider at all.
Yeah, I would have to agree, man. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Alexis Sanchez challenge as well, because I saw someone put it up in the chat. Now, I didn't actually watch the game live in real time, and watching it back even on a replay in real time, I still couldn't make the call because I already knew what was going to happen. So I just really quickly want to hear everyone's opinion. Mo, did Alexis Sanchez deserve to be sent off against Liverpool?
I said it on the English channels, and I said it there, and I stood up to them and I said it's not a red card and it's not even a yellow card. It's barely a foul. And I didn't even see Thierry Henry agree with me. But then later, someone shared the video that Thierry Henry said it's barely a foul. Like, let alone a yellow card, let alone a second yellow in a round of 16 tie in a Champions League. Lahoz fucked up. And I'm sorry for the language. He fucked up big time. I know that the challenge in the first half might 90% was a red card, but you let that go and you didn't give a red card. There is no compensation in football, and I'm sorry. This was never a yellow card. The challenge was 5 yards away, and the challenge was not even high. It was absolutely on the ankle or the foot. Definitely not a yellow card.
Mattia?
I agree with Mo. Again, I keep on agreeing with him. So yeah, I mean, completely. There is no makeup, for he should have given the red in the first half. Since he didn't do that, there is no compensation. So this wasn't, and not just Thierry Henry. Arsene Wenger also said that it wasn't a red card.
Jamie Carragher, Liverpool legend. Jamie Carragher.
So yeah, it wasn't, and it completely messed up the game. It completely changed the game in the crucial moment. So that decision really ruined the game. It completely cut us off when we were, just scored and were on the onslaught. So it was horrible decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave,
Well,
last say for you?
Actually, unfortunately, I have to say I thought it was a yellow because just based on how I've seen that they've been calling the games recently, anytime that you have stud contacts, I've seen a guy kick a ball and then he just ends up like while he's putting his foot down, his studs end up on a defender and they still give him a yellow. I saw after Thierry Henry did say that he didn't think that it was a yellow if you played football and stuff. They also had a referee on there as well, and she explained why they've been calling it that way. I guess player protection and stuff like that. The game has definitely gotten soft. Of course, in the circumstances, adrenaline is pumping. We just scored a goal. There's a loose ball in their half, and he actually plays the ball. The referee is at his discretion to be like, okay, you know what? I'll give you a warning. Next foul, I'll send you off or whatever. But he chose not to do it. But I guess it's hard. It's hard on us, but based on how I've seen them call it, I think it's a yellow.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Chris says all over England, players, fans, journalists actually backing Inter on the red, which never happens. I think everyone was a little bit impressed with Inter and their fan turnout.
That's banter. That's banter. They are not subjective, these English fans. You can't take an English fan word for real if they are support another club. It's the same as here. I'm never going to take your opinion on a Juventus call, to be honest. And they will never take your opinion. I get it from a Liverpool supporter. Jamie Carragher said it's not a yellow card, so I'll just believe that he's a Liverpool supporter and he will always back his club, right? So
yeah.
Anyway, forget about Anthony before we move on. One thing about Liverpool, since me and you, we haven't talked about it. Did you guys really like Lautaro Martinez in that game?
When I watched it back, man, I didn't. There were large periods of time where I didn't even know he was on the pitch. To be honest, man. Like, yeah, that's
I'm sorry,
real.
man. This guy cannot be a football player at this point. I know he scored a wonder, but to be honest, there is that one chance that he had a chance to put Dumfries on goal. He had a chance to shoot the ball, and he just scuffed it. And
that scuff that was bad.
Yep.
His movement is off. His passing is off. His first touch is not a professional football player. Someone said before the difference between a professional football player and an amateur football player is that you can have a great first touch, but football players have it 90% of the time they get the ball. He doesn't even have it 10%. And having, as other people say, 10 pace, it cannot make you a foot. Dude, the Alan Shearer style of football disappeared from football. The guy that doesn't run and stay in the 18 disappeared. You need to have a little bit of pace to be able to deal with defenders, to be able to run behind. I don't know what happened to them. He looks overweight, which is this is on the management, it's not on him. He looks overweight. He can't run. He is getting bigger. Muscle. I don't know if it's muscles. He's gaining weight. But
It's
this
all
guy
Argentina barbecue on his multi-million-dollar Milan apartment,
exactly.
bro.
This is on the management. This guy is getting slower because he is getting heavier. It's the same as Lukaku and Man United. When he came to Inter, he looked way faster because he lost a lot of weight. His diet was better. This is on the management. You can't let your player just get over. He's on camera. He looks overweight. In pictures on Instagram, I follow the guy. He looks overweight. This is unacceptable from a professional football player that requested and asked for a lot of money to renew his contract.
Yeah. How much would you sell him for at the end of the season around the table? Dave, you first.
Honestly, I'll take anything 65 and up for him. I think that would be fair. I'm glad Mo brought it up, man, because of that wonder goal he scored. A lot of people were off his back, and when you even try to criticize him, they're like, "Oh my God, you have personal issues with the guy." But I personally felt like he was a ghost, like you said, for most of the game, and that goal. Beautiful goal, but I'll credit that more to Van Dijk. Van Dijk lost respect for that guy at the point where he didn't even want to go and press him, because that's how he's been defending him for most of the time, where his aura would make Lautaro not even want to try to chase down the ball or try to take him on. I guess this time Lautaro went for it and he ended up scoring a goal, but no, that's definitely not I'm not giving him a pass. His touch is bad. It's been bad, like Mo has said, and that's a very good point. I never noticed it, but now I need to really pay attention. He has bulked up a little bit. Maybe that has something to do with him slowing down as well. But yeah, I did notice physically he has been bulking up. So that's a very good point.
Lord Figo is on his consistent freebie hustle, as Tim points out, needing Dave's Lukaku shirt and whatever I've got on my dressing table there. Tim's acknowledging it. So basically, if we do win the Scudetto at the end of the season, Lord Figo, I'll send you an Inter Worldwide t-shirt from our catalog. So good hustle, man. It will pay off if we manage to get the job done at the end of the season. Thank you very much to Alberto coming through. Yeah, guys, anybody that's watching now, if you've got it in your backbone and you can put your ego to the side for 5 seconds, go and subscribe to the All Juve cast. As I always say, if you're going to get any of their news, get it from Alberto and his boys. They're a very, very good bunch of people delivering very objective stuff. Fantastic stuff. Thanks to the 31 people that are with us right now. Make sure you like the video as well if you are here. And we'll stay on that question, and then I'll ask the boys if they want to talk about anything else before we wrap up. Mattia, like you see Dave's Lukaku propaganda going on here. If you're going to bring Lukaku back and it's feasible, it's probably in your best interest to keep Lautaro. Like there's absolutely no reason to let him go after that. So what's the situation for you in your opinion? Do you still want it? Would you say Lautaro for anything 60, 65, it's a must?
I mean, sure, but who to buy? There is no, I don't know. What would be his substitution? You know, there aren't many strikers that we can afford that are great. So that's the problem for me. You know, I agree with everything the guy said with his problems that he has, obviously, and everybody sees them. But who would you replace him with that we can realistically afford? Okay, that would be my question to you guys.
No, I'll let you answer it first.
There are a lot of people in the world. There is a Nasiri at Sevilla. He's cheaper, and he is fast. He has been developing a lot. He's a very, very good player. There are a lot of people around the world that you can buy, to be honest, from the Premier League. Maybe you can't offer the salary, but from the Bundesliga, you can offer the salary. From La Liga, you can offer the salary. There's not a lot of players that has Lautaro's profile in the world. The English fans think Lautaro is a very good player. Actually, they might come for him for 50, 60. For 50, 60 million, Alexander Isaac in Sociedad is valued at 60 million. I don't like Alexander Isaac, but I'm just telling you that Lautaro's profile is as good as any forward other than Harry Kane, Benzema, Lewandowski, and these top forwards. So we can get Lukaku back. I think that if this war is not finished, and I want this war to be done, Chelsea is gonna have a sales period. Like they're gonna just sell everybody because they can afford the salaries, and that's a big deal for them. And I think we can get Lukaku back. There are a lot of other options. I'm not gonna name names now, but I'll just give you one name or two names now from the Bundesliga. Is a guy that played for Leverkusen. He's very, very good. There is so I can't name the names now, but there are a lot for 60 million. You can get a lot of players that are very, very good. You're not gonna get a 23 years old. You're gonna get a 27 or a 26 or someone even 29, but you can get a lot for 60 million.
Personally,
guys
I'd go for Raspadori. Personally, that's a guy that I like. I like his profile. That's a player that he scores goals, he creates goals, he dribbles. That's something that when you look at Lautaro, you see, okay, what is his skill set? Like, is he? He's not a guy that's particularly fast. He's not a big guy that's physical. He's not a technical guy. So, like, what is his skill set? What does he excel at? What do you want him to develop? You know, Raspadori is completely different in that case. And I feel like at 21, 22 years old, he has what, 8 goals, 5 assists so far, no penalties. He's a guy that's bound to blow up, and I would love for us to get our hands on him. And pipe dream, of course, Dybala. You know, we gotta mention it.
Yeah, of course. Raspadori is uno di noi as well. He's a diehard Interista, and adding another one of them to the catalogue with Barella and Bastoni as well can only really improve you on and off the pitch. That's why I'd be more inclined to get him as well. Why don't you like him, Mo? Because it's just because he's done it at Sassuolo.
He doesn't have the profile to be a top striker.
Yeah, but what's profile? Like what about his profile?
Physicality is number one. You want to compete in Europe, you have to have the physicality. You have to. We don't have a big midfield. We need a big forward. If we have a big midfield, we can go with a small forward like Raspadori, a quick one. We need a big midfielder to be able to get Raspadori. If we don't have Raspadori, we need a station up top and we need a big forward. He cannot be our main guy, to be honest. This is
no, absolutely. We're talking replacement for Lautaro, right? Like Lautaro,
but we don't have a main forward, Dave. We need a main forward. We need
Scamacca.
We need okay.
If they were both at two separate clubs, it'd be more realistic. I just can't see us being able to get both. Like that would be disastrous.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, even what we're talking the possible pipe dream of Lukaku. So I was just talking like just if we're selling Lautaro, who I would want to replace. Of course, assuming that we do get that big profile that we need to replace Dzeko. You know,
we need to look outside of Italy, in my opinion, guys. I'm not sure if you guys agree with me, but we need to look outside of Italy. We have always been successful with non-Italian forwards, other than maybe Vieri in the year or two that he played at Inter. But we need the good Argentinian forwards. We need maybe someone like Uruguayan, maybe. But in my opinion, Italians, they don't work good at Inter, in my opinion. And Italian forwards are overrated. It's the same as we have the Italian tax, and we know that. Scamacca, they're going to ask for 30 million. Raspadori, they're going to ask for 30 million. The guy is not even worth 20 million. It's a big deal. We need to go look outside, in my opinion.
What you're saying is like we can get the same value of player, if not more, for less money. Looking in these other leagues for sure.
Yeah, you can go look at Villarreal, you can go look at Sociedad, you can go look for the Leverkusens, the Collins, and all these players. And you'll get. The problem is you're Inter. You go for Sassuolo and ask for Raspadori. Like, hey, give me 40 million because you're Inter. It's the same exactly in England. When Liverpool go ask for someone from Southampton, they ask for a lot of money. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mattia wants to say something. I feel like he's like holding something.
Yeah, we were mentioning Scamacca. Do we really think he's better than Lautaro? I'm really not convinced.
He wouldn't be playing the same role, but like it's important to point out that Lautaro has been playing that more number 9 role all season because Dzeko's been dropping so deep to pick the ball up, and it could be the same case again against Torino, especially since Lautaro's got the confidence after bagging 4 goals in 2 games. You're definitely going to see Dzeko just still be on the ball a lot, I think. But I'm really, it's a gamble either or now. There's no more guarantees.
I know you,
there is
no guarantee. You're a big Scamacca fan. I know you. You're a big.
There's no one else. It's like going to the shops to pick up something and you're like, oh, I would have had this, but it's sold out. I would have had this, but there's only one left. And like, it's shit because Dzeko off the bench for us next season, if he's not worked out to the shithouse, can be a great player and serve us if we need to do those things like push on to win enough games to win a league title. But we need a new guy, and we need a new guy. And as like Scamacca, would be the best pick out of a bunch in Italy. But Mo said it, Serie A tax. It's very, very real, and it's way too much. This guy would not have a $35 million price tag if it was any other team coming for him. I truly believe that as well. So it's a gamble either or, Mo. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee Lukaku, with the season he's had mentally, would come back and hit the ground running. He could be a very, very just lopsided waste of space, bro.
Let me tell you one thing. Broha from Southampton. He's a Chelsea loanee. Chelsea might not bring him back, and they would look to sell the guy. We can go for this guy. He has been amazing in the Premier League.
Emiliano
someone
saying
just said
it
exactly
well.
the same. I didn't even read the comment yet.
Oh,
So yeah,
I haven't really paid much attention.
All depends on Chelsea's situation. Chelsea, they have a lot of forwards and they have a lot of players. Yes, but I don't want Chelsea to be selling all their players. It's just kind of strange. But if they do, they have a lot of loanees. We can go for some of them. And as I said,
realistically, thanks to 34 people on Inter Worldwide, this has been very, very nice. Like, realistically, who do you think that we could maybe pick up from Chelsea? I'll start with Mo, because like you're in the loop with more Premier League stuff than I am. What's the overall vibe? Do you think that they'll be able to dig themselves out of this and still be able to retain their assets and push on? Do you think it's all just a little bit too much for media at the moment?
This is not on Chelsea. This thing is on Abramovich. They are not after Chelsea, by the way. Chelsea brings them views. Chelsea brings them money, the Premier League. They're after Abramovich money. They're not after Chelsea at all. They're not gonna let Chelsea slip to champion. Like this all trash talk in England. Chelsea championship and all this stuff. They will never let a big club go down, because they did it. Chelsea themselves as a club, they didn't do anything wrong. Their owner is just linked with Putin, and it has nothing to do with the club.
Yeah,
there's already talk today about them giving some foundation or something the keys to be able to sell the club to somebody.
Yeah. Indra says, like it or not, Marotta wants to go for young Italian players. I know he's keen to pick up Fratesi as well, but we'll see what happens. It'll all come down to how we finish off the season. I know we've cooped up some good money from qualifying for the Champions League, but we can always use every dime. I'm not too sure what the plans are still in terms of ownership. Do we have money to spend? Do we still need to cash in on an asset or two? For me, if you can get Bremer sorted, that's the main thing for me, because I really think that De Vrij, even if he's not on his way out, his best years are behind him. I do think he's on his way out anyway. So I think the striker and the attacking situation, we know we need to resolve that. So we will resolve that in the off-season properly. But with Bremer, like that's the exact sort of transfer that has us being linked to him 98% of the time, haggling over about 5 to 7.5 million. And then a team like Bayern comes in and gets it done in about 24 minutes flat. And you're like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And it's just done, jersey held up and everything. And we've still got rumored to him. So I don't know, man. That would be my main pick. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Bremer is a must. Not necessarily because De Vrij has been so bad this season. Of course, he's struggled. But, hey, I think it's the best time for us to move on. He's been at the club for, 4 years now? We won a Scudetto. He's been a great servant to the club. Maybe he wants to go and do that Premier League dream. Supposedly, every player has that dream to play in the Premier League. So I think it's the best time for us to send him over. Maybe if we get 35 to 40 from Tottenham or whoever else wants him. And let's go get Bremer. Absolutely. I really like him. That's a guy that in the beginning of the season, I thought it was hype. And I took my time to actually watch him a couple times, and this guy is having a monster season. He's very confident. Yeah, definitely. It's a must. I definitely want to get Bremer.
Yeah, nice. Hello to you as well, Danielle. Thank you so much. Love to you wherever you are in Pakistan, bro. That's pretty much all I was going to cover today, but I've got 3 gentlemen with me. Is there anything that I missed? Anything worth discussing, Mattia?
Didn't Bremer just sign or renew his contract?
With Torino, yeah. So it's no longer a free transfer. I reckon his value is about 25 million, maybe even 30 if they want to be stingy.
Yeah, so that complicates things a little bit. But
it really does bank on our intentions for Stefan De Vrij, and with Tottenham Hotspur, as Indra says, pray for Spurs to get top 4 so Levy can splash some money on De Vrij. Honestly, it looks like Conte's going to walk. It's just a ticking time bomb all over again. And as soon as there's a vibe that Conte will walk, there go all of his transfer targets as well. So it's not going to be an easy deal to get done whatsoever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mo? Did I miss anything?
What do you guys think of
No.
Dybala?
The Dybala, I'm happy to talk about Dybala, bro. If Marotta pulls it off, it'll be great. But like, it's one of
How
those
much?
things.
How much, Anthony? How much? The guy's asking for 8 million.
If we're doing 7.5 plus bonuses, with bonuses is attached to performances and accolades like winning trophies and qualifying for top four, then it's fine. The contract will pay for itself. At the end of the day, you'd be taking Juventus's best player, paying about 35 to 40 million for the entire deal, and not a cent of it goes to Juve. It's just all to the player. And yeah, I know it's shit, but this is the Bayern Munich model, bro. Like, why look overseas if you can just take your strongest rival's player and make sure that Juve in the offseason, yeah, they'll have some cap space, say, from Dybala, but now they need to replace another player. Juve are still playing catch-up with their squad as well. They need to sign 2, maybe 3 players still in the offseason. You take Dybala from them, they need to sign 4 players for next season. So that's the only reason I'd be looking at it. Anything more than 7.5, 8 million a season, like Mo, if he's coming back with his agent going, nah, we want 9.5, 10, just go, man, sack it. We don't need you. Juve don't need you. Just go and do your thing elsewhere. So I think we are working with fine margins with the Dybala deal. I think if he was to come in next season, he'd link up well with the likes of Lautaro and Correa, but it's all ifs, ands, or buts. I really think it comes down to how we end the season, man. I feel like mentally and ego-wise, we need to finish this season strong and win the title. Otherwise, if we don't win the title, then we're really looking for reasons that might, I don't know, bro. For me, you go for a player like Dybala when you're on top, when you're the champions, when you know you can take that gamble and know if it doesn't pay dividends 100% on and off the pitch, it's not a complete write-off. But you don't win the league this year and really fish hard for a player like Dybala and it doesn't work, it's shit. It's like an Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United level shit. But, and it's amazing saying this, he was on like 40 million a season, wasn't he? We're still talking about like 1/6 of the wage that you'd pay Alexis Sanchez for Dybala. That was disgraceful. But that would be my answer to that. Mo, what about you for Dybala? And then we'll hear from Mattia.
I'm not, I was a big fan of Dybala, not anymore. The guy plays a game, doesn't play 5. And with the way we play, I want 2 forwards that can play together close to each other. Dybala is kind of a number 10, an inverted winger inside, something like this. I'm not sure if he's going to come in and be the main guy for us, but I want to see a partnership like Lukaku Lautaro. I want to see a partnership like Harry Kane and Son. I want to see a partnership like this. I want to see something that it was like Morata now and Vlahovic. They play together. It's going well for them. I want to see something like this. That number 10 rule to playing someone like this as a striker in a 3-5-2 tactically, it weakens your forward line, to be honest. It's just my opinion. When you bring Dybala, you need to change formation. It's the same as if you bring a wing back, you need to play 5 in the back. If you're bringing a full backs, you need to play 4 in the back. It's just my opinion. If you're going to splash 40 million over 5 seasons, go for someone that will suit your manager that is supposed to stay 3-4 years. This is just my opinion about Dybala situation.
Yeah,
I think that
Go Dave.
I'm sorry. I think that at this point of his career, it would be ideal for him to play a second striker and a two striker team formation. Of course, he's a luxury player. He's not a guy that's going to be pressing for you and running as much. So maybe the rest of the team would have to work for him. But I think he's worth it, man, because that's a guy that when he's on his game, he could create for you out of nowhere. And we've missed that cutting edge in the team all year because our guys need to miss 3 warm-up chances before they could put 1 away. I feel like it probably would be a good fit. Like maybe that would help him conserve his fitness as well, where he could get to be a senator per se in the team up top, paired up with maybe a Scamacca or another big striker that could run and stuff like that. But maybe it's just me playing fantasy ball. I mean, that's a guy that I really, really like. And I've convinced myself in my head that it would be a great fit for him.
Yeah, nice one, man. Mattia, Dybala, yes, no, maybe, depends.
A definite maybe. So yeah, I mean, I was also very eager when Don Beppe started these rumors. I was very eager, like, yes, let's get him. His contract is up, free transfer, let's go. But now I see that he also has problems with injuries a lot, and that worries me, to be honest. So We don't need another Korea, So that could be a big problem, and that's what I'm worried about. Also, I think we forget that we have a different manager now, and if we get back Lukaku, for example, who is to guarantee that he's gonna fit well and work well under Inzaghi like he did with Conte? So that's also an if that I think people forget about.
Yeah, there really are no guarantees at the moment. We've got another couple questions coming in. Gentlemen, if you need to bounce, you just let me know. All is good. We've been going for 50 minutes. There's 32 people still here. So make sure you like the video if you've stuck around. Subscribe if you are new. Kamal says, who's going to definitely be leaving the squad this season due to contracts and age-wise? Vidal, I think Vecino, I think Alexis Sanchez leaves as well. I think Radu leaves as well. I think...
Can we start a petition to get Gagliardini out? Is that something?
It's not going to happen, bro. I've just accepted that he's going to retire here, and then he's probably going to coach the Primavera as well, something after that. So we're never going to be able to get rid of him. Trust me. But yeah, the two V's with Vecino and Vidal, Alexis Sanchez, Radu, and I don't think Eden Dzeko leaves. However, it wouldn't surprise me if we do win the title to see him bounce and for us to get another two big forwards in. So I think there's so many ifs and buts to see where we finish the end of this season to see what goes forward. But I think the guarantees so far for me, Vecino, Vidal, Radu, and whoever I said, Sanchez. What about you, Dave?
No, you said it. You said it all. I also heard that, I read that Ranocchia and Ambrosio, aren't they out of contract as well? But I guess we're gonna negotiate with them and we want to extend them because those guys they want to stay there, inter-lifers. Yeah. But that's it. You had that list. Perisic, I guess, is still a maybe. But the news have been positive as well. So yeah, the guys that you said for sure. Vecino, I think he's leaving for free. Vidal, we're probably gonna push him out because I think his deal would not be expiring. He would still have one more year, so we'll probably have to push him out or negotiate with him. Sanchez, is Sanchez the same situation? Is it just expiring, or are we just pushing him out?
I actually think that Sanchez still has this season and next season left on his contract as well. So that's still another 7.5 that we'd have to foot next year. So the only way we keep him is if he agrees to dividend his salary out again, which he's already done once with us. So once again, I think it depends. Like if these players win a trophy at Inter this season, like the Scudetto, they might just want to bounce anyway. They might be content. Sanchez might be like, all right, I've just won a couple of trophies in Italy. Who's next?
Yeah.
Who's stupid enough to keep paying me this sort of money, regardless of what they turn out on the pitch? And there will be someone, like they're not that clever, all these clubs. Mattia, what about you? Anybody different?
Kolarov. Wait, didn't he cancel his contract?
No, he's still around.
He didn't.
He was on the bench for Salernitana.
Yeah, he's still around.
I was sure I heard something somewhere that he's gonna cancel, or he canceled and he's gonna be in a coach, some position, something like that. I thought that happened already. Yeah, but I guess it didn't. So
maybe he wants to stick around and get the Scudetto on his resume. Maybe, because he hasn't won it, right?
Maybe that's what Dzeko wants.
Well, he won it with us last year. What am I saying?
He won it last year. Yeah. So Conte brought Kolarov.
Has he played double-digit games for us? Because now I'm thinking about it, I really don't think I've seen him on the pitch more than 3 or 4 times.
Once with Inzaghi. I don't remember with Conte.
He played
Milan
last year.
Salernitana game, which we won 5-0, who came off the bench and he stunk it up for about 9 minutes.
Last year with
the Milan Derby. He lost us the Milan Derby.
Yep, exactly.
Last year, right?
Yeah,
last year.
Bastoni had COVID, I think.
Yeah. I remember. But then, was he the player that Ibrahimovic fouled to get sent off? And he made a little cheeky, I
think he kind of instigated Ibrahimovic or something like that. So I guess that's his service to the club right there.
Yeah, Chris is back in the chat with his Kostic propaganda as well. Kostic a bargain and all for. Bro, we just got Gossens, man. So your Kostic agenda is going to have to take a rest for a while.
On the left,
especially if Perisic re-signs. Mo, do you think Perisic is re-signing? Why is it taking so long to get the Croatian signatures?
because he's asking for too much money, and he's asking for 3 year, and Inter is only offering a 2 year deal. It's a big deal for a player. 6 million is a big deal, and he thinks that he can get, after all these displays in Europe, he thinks he can get a 3 to 4 year contract somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think if we don't offer him the money he needs, he will leave.
Yeah, the longer it goes on, the more I'm inclined to think that. Mattia, what do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think one of Brozovic or Perisic is leaving? Like, I'd love to say it's done, and that's why I've been very cautious on this channel not to do any videos or react to any of those headlines regarding Brozovic or Perisic, because too long, way too long.
I'm scared. It's like, for how many months now? It's been really, really long. Like, it's coming. It's almost finished. It's finished. It's 90%, 95%, 98%, 99%, 99.5%. What on earth are they waiting? I mean, even Don Beppe said it's finished. That
Yeah.
kind of calmed me. That calmed me down, but still nothing official. I don't know what to think anymore. It's a bit scary, especially for Brozovic. He is very, very crucial for us. Perisic, he is one of our main guys, but he is getting up there with age. So yeah, we got Gossens. I'm not that worried right now about him,
Mhm.
but yeah, for Brozovic, I'm really
Yeah.
still clenching.
He would be our hardest player to replace, Dave.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Impossible.
We saw what we looked like against Sassuolo when he was suspended, and which is why I didn't get to answer that question earlier. The teams that I'm more worried about in our upcoming schedule are probably Torino and Fiorentina, because those teams that press, and we see that's how we struggle when they press us and they find a way to nullify Brozo out of the game. We struggle to find another way to play most of the time. So Fiorentina a little bit, and Torino. Roma not so much, because they're gonna pretty much play with 10 men behind the ball and allow us time to try to pick him apart, try to break him down. But hopefully we can find a way to renew Brozo, man. The latest I read was that okay, everything's been settled, but his agent has not been registered to the Italian something like that. Something similar to that I read. They need to register it with the FIGC, and then he could be a approved agent, and then the contract could be deposed, something like that. So hopefully it is a little technicality like that, because we can't afford to lose him.
Yeah. Nerazzurri NL says, who is going to be our captain next
Skriniar.
season, and who do you want? For me, it's Skriniar as well.
Skriniar,
Mo?
yeah.
It's Brozovic if he renews the
Yeah,
contract.
I've
know
got
that
this.
we want
I've got
Skriniar.
this feeling there's a clause in that contract for Brozovic coming that he might be a that might be the next captain, because he's longest serving player at the club after Handanovic and Ranocchia.
Yes.
But yeah,
But I know Skriniar thing is good, but I think like Brozovic has this different class than everybody else on the field. He's not shy to talk to the referees. He's not shy to talk to the other teams. He's not shy to talk to anybody on the field. This is what I think.
yeah.
But it's I'm happy with Skriniar as well, but I wish Brozovic gets it, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. That's where we're going to finish up for today. There's still 32 people here on the channel, which is great. Like the video, subscribe if you are new. I'll go around and send everybody off quickly before I plug a little bit of Serie A fantasy. Mo, an absolute pleasure to be joined by you as always. And we'll see you straight after Torino.
Thank you so much, guys,
you,
and
Mo.
hopefully we'll win the game.
Hopefully. Dave, thank you so much for joining us, man. Respect to you. Let people know where they can find your podcast that you do with the boys.
Brother, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Like I said, it's always a pleasure. I'm a big fan of the show. So it's always a pleasure every time I get the opportunity. You guys can find me on Twitter, Forza Inter Haiti, and also follow the Brothers of the World pod. It's at BOTW pod on Twitter. Thank you, everybody.
Nice one, man. Mattia, always good to see you, bro. Always bringing the smiles.
Always the positivity. Yeah, you and me are the biggest optimists here, as always. Thank you. It was nice to meet you, Dave. Finally, I've been a fan for a while.
Likewise.
And yeah, always a pleasure, guys. So it's almost 4 a.m. in Europe, so it's been a pleasure. And yeah, I wouldn't miss this for anything. Have a great night, day, whatever. Forza Inter.
Forza Inter. I'm truly lucky and blessed. Thank you. Ciao, boys. Have a great day. See you later. Thank you, everyone. If you are sticking around to the 31 people, let's quickly get this Serie A fantasy stuff underway. I've got to leave Bremer in here, man. There is no way I'm taking him out because at least if he has the game of his life against Inter, I'm going to be the one that makes sure to cash in on it. So head over to serieafantasy.com/leagues and go over to the Inter Worldwide League. We're up to 70 members now in our fantasy competition. You can find the link in the description. You can also find the code. Also up on the screen here is the code. Fantastic. There you go. Make sure you go and use that code. Sign up to Inter Worldwide, where I'm still finishing in those Champions League zones. Still finishing in that Champions League zone. Let's have a look where my friends are. Man, Sharma, proper Hellas Verona option this season, 9th. Not going anywhere around there. My boy Tim, Forza Inter Tim. He's been creeping up a little bit lately. Where's Bruno? Oh, this is poor form. Poor form from Bruno. Not good. Not good. It's great to see so many people from so many different chats turned out for this competition. It's been fun. Going over to the team, though, for this round, we'll go over to transfers. I don't think I'm going to make any changes this week, but Piontek, Vlahovic, Abraham, Pasalic. Yeah, Bremer's going to have the match of his career. He's definitely going to have the match of his career. There's no way I'm taking him out for this game because he's definitely going to make sure that Inter have the toughest game. Skriniar starting this week. Barella, I think, has an absolute mammoth of a game again because he did not play the Liverpool fixture. So he's got to come up with a big performance here, and Juan Cuadrado will also always somehow do his way into a good performance. That's why everybody wants to pick him on fantasy as well. Vlahovic is he's like your automatic selection. He's probably the most selected player, surely. Let's have a look. Oh, wait, I'm on transfers, my bad. But I remember seeing him as the most in-demand forward when I was looking it up before. So, yep, there he is, 184 points. No wonder he's just, absolutely killed it this season, no matter who he's been playing for, Fiorentina or Juventus. That's the lock. That's the guarantee. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today on Inter Worldwide. We need to win. We really, really need to win against Torino. I will be back in absolutely elative form if we do win. If we drop points, I'm going to have to say that I'll start preparing for the worst mentally because every game is a must win. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to Lord Figo for always bringing the comedy, not only on this stream, but in the cultural community. Thanks, Mattia, for joining us live. No, we don't make money from fantasy football, Figo, but you keep that hustle up, my man. Have a good day, Anth. Hopefully Tigers, bro. Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. NRL kicks off. I'm half excited, but, also half dreading. Here we go again, bro. We go again. Another year supporting the West Tigers. You and I deserve a holiday, bro. Kostic can be a hit. Far out, Chris. Enough with the Kostic propaganda. Nah, keep it coming, man. And thanks for joining the live stream. Thank you, everybody else who joined. This is where we're going to end off today. Hopefully 3 points for Torino. Forza Inter Worldwide. Like, subscribe if you are new. Ciao. Take care.